An 80-year-old Las Vegas landlord is losing all of her income because her tenants have not paid rent in 16 months due to the eviction moratorium. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an article for you today, and it's actually a letter, and it's coming to us from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. But before I get into that article, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below, and I'll work to keep bringing you great articles about the eviction moratorium and other news that's of interest to landlords. Now, I'm really working hard to, find articles that'll give you just a little bit of, a personal feeling of what landlords are going through who have not been able to collect rent since the beginning of this eviction moratorium. And, not everyone covers this stuff. You don't see about it that much in the news, or especially not on national news. You always hear the stories of the tenants. Well, this channel, it goes over the things that are important to landlords. And that's why I like to put focus on articles like this. So this says, letter. The eviction moratorium is a burden on small landlords. Yeah, and I've said it time and time again. I've gone over many articles like this. The eviction moratorium, it hurts small landlords the most, okay? The people who own one or two or just a few properties, okay? We lose a significant portion of our rent just from one tenant not paying, and it can completely destroy you. And yeah, I don't want to see that happen. Nobody should have that happen to them. But let me get into this letter, and I think she'll say it a little bit better than I can. It's from a lady, her name is Sharon Ritter, and she lives in Las Vegas. I would like to explain what the term eviction moratorium means to me. The government can take my property and income and give it to strangers while I am still responsible for all of the expenses involved in keeping the property. Amen. Okay. So, like I've said before, when they created the eviction moratorium, they've put it onto the landlords to suddenly be the providers for housing for the low income and for the homeless. And that isn't the way things are supposed to be run, okay? We're private individuals. We're actually business owners who own these properties, okay? And now all of a sudden we're expected to cover for the poor and the homeless? No. That's a place where the government needs to step in. They're the ones who put these moratoriums in place, and they're the ones who need to step up and make sure that the landlords are getting paid. And putting all these stipulations and making it hard for the landlords to get the money, it's just not right. Okay. And so many property owners are seeing that, and we can come out there and scream it all day. But when it comes to the politicians, for them, it's more important about votes. And obviously, there are more tenants than there are landlords. So, we're not going to win very many battles that way. So far, I have lost $17,803.18. She must do good accounting. Because I have to pay for garbage pickup, taxes, sewer service, insurance, and water. By the end of July, when the moratoriums on evictions will supposedly be lifted, it will be 16 months since I have collected a dime from the deadbeats living on my property. Okay, and yeah, she went over a pretty good thing that I go over in pretty much all of my videos as well. All of the additional expenses that people forget about that landlords have to pay. It's not just, the cost of the house itself, okay? Like she said, there's the garbage pickup, there are the taxes, there's the sewer service, there's the insurance, there's the water. And let's not forget about capital expenditures, okay? Sometimes you're gonna have a furnace or an air conditioner go out on you, okay? It's happened to me many times, okay? You're gonna have a roof leak, that you have to repair. You might have bugs, that you got to spray for around a house. I mean, there's maintenance, there's capital expenditures, there's just stuff that you have to do to keep a house well maintained. And without any income coming in, you're just going to be just pulling that out of your own pocket, okay? And that's not easy to do, okay? Especially when you're paying for your own home on top of that. So you're going to pay for your own place to live, and you're going to be paying for all of that for someone else's house? No, that's ridiculous. I am more than 80 years old, and I invested in this property so as to have an income at this stage of my life. Instead, I have to borrow money so I can keep that which rightfully belongs to me. There is also a mortgage on the property. The tenants paid the first month's rent for March 2020, and that is the last and only money that they have paid me. What has happened to the America I grew up in? It breaks my heart to see what it has become. Wow. I mean, that's a very deep and very impactful short letter, and I mean, so much was said in that last little bit right there. So she has to borrow money just in order to keep, the tenant in the property. So I have to go get a loan from the bank just so that my tenants have somewhere to live. That's outrageous, okay? Is that what the government intended with the eviction moratorium? That I, as a private business owner, have to go get a loan so that I can provide free housing to someone else? That's insane, okay? And, just so that she could keep which rightfully belongs to her, because if she doesn't go get that loan, it gets foreclosed, and then the bank takes it, and then she loses it. And that's completely wrong, And she has a mortgage on this property. So all those other expenses I mentioned earlier, and you still have to pay the mortgage on top of that. So yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. Just putting landlords into this situation like this is wrong. And I know that this isn't a super long letter or super long article, but it really does go over all of the facts that I've mentioned over and over and over again, okay? Landlords are they're struggling through this whole mess. This landlord here, this 80-year-old landlord, she just wanted to survive off of this income and, until, it was her time to pass. And now she's just put into this horrible situation where she's borrowing from the bank so that somebody else can live for free in her place for 16 months. Okay, so this has got to end. That's it. This has got to end. The eviction moratorium's got to end. Hopefully at the end of July, this is over. The Supreme Court did not have our backs. They didn't end this mess. But, I'm hopeful that come the end of July, all of this has ended.